Okay, so here's a tutorial in chemistry stoichiometry. Let's go over this. Now, basically, again, what I do with all the tutorials is I don't watch the videos on the lesson or do the questions. I have you do that stuff on your own. These are just basically for you to have a better understanding of the definitions and other stuff in the tutorial. Kind of help you out there. All right. And plus, I have a lot of little mini lessons of stuff like this too. So you'll see a lot of this in the mini lessons, but coefficient would be, so starting off with this, coefficient is the number and it goes along with a letter. Again, now you'll see algebra and chemistry here are kind of intertwining and connecting with each other. These coefficients are in algebra. So let's see, we have let's do 502. So 502 is coefficient because the number is in front of the letters. Again, we'll skip the video. The mole. All right. Mole is a type of measurement or a type of unit. So the amount equal to the number of atoms in 12 grams of carbon 12. So there you have it. It's a type of measurement or in a unit of measurement. You probably won't hear it that often just in everyday life. It's basically like science and chemistry stuff. So you won't hear it that often with other stuff. But here we have some other measurements here. Again, I have some other videos and little mini lessons of measurements and a whole bunch of stuff like that too. So substance is apple. Quantitative term, meaning the amount, is 1 dozen. And so as you count them, there's, okay, 4 in this row, okay, column, row, and there's 12 apples, so a dozen. A dozen is 12. The number is 12 apples. Water. Look at the substance here. We have water. Quantitative term is a mole, and it is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd power molecules of water. Calcium chloride measured by mole, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd power formula, and it's units of Ca, calcium, Cl, chloride, 2 chloride. Okay. Now we have scales. And let's see. All right, so it's showing atomic weight. The average atomic mass of a naturally occurring element. So the atomic weight, the average atomic mass is sometimes, I know another lesson I've done on the periodic table where you see the mass of hydrogen. It's slightly different in some places because they're just going by other weights of it, but the atomic weight is the average atomic mass of an element. So it's just showing you a couple things here. And question. All right, so how many eggs are present in 1 mole of eggs? And here's how you see it. I will answer this one though. It's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd power. More conversions. All right. Moles to particles. Okay, moles and the formula. Okay, and their formula. Now again, here's where algebra kind of mixes together. Here's some formulas. And again, I've a couple other lessons, I've broken this down a lot more too. So yeah. All right, now it's just showing you number of moles times number of particles divided by number of moles equals the number of particles. And it just kind of breaks it down, showing you how it is divided. And here we go. Number of atoms of bromium, 2. And 1.7 moles. Okay, so then it's just showing you how it's broken down again. Here's the equation for you. So here's how you would do that. Again, we'll just skip this question. I'll let you do that on your own. Molar mass of a substance. All right. The mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. That's pretty simple. And so the unit of the molar mass is grams/mole. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the periodic table. All right, so I'll go more in depth as time goes on with the periodic table, and we'll probably do separate lessons on this. Um, I'd run out of time. If I could, I would do a separate lesson on each element, but we might not do that. But okay, so just kind of we're going through all the elements here. All right, hydrogen, it shows key isotopes. It shows the isotopes in it. Electronic configuration, one electron is outer shell. That's what that means. The density, the isonotation, energy, and let's see. That's about it. They don't really go in too much in depth on here, which is fine. Helium, okay, and then carbon. Carbon has a few isotopes, 12, 13, and 14. All right, let's get back to that tutorial. Let's get this. Ooh, significant figures. I have done a few lessons on those. Again, more algebra and chemistry combined with each other. So now we have moles to grams. Go back to that periodic table. Then this will come in handy too. Sometimes you might get some questions on this. But if you save this periodic table, so like you bookmark it, like right here, bookmark it on your computer, then you can refer back to it at any time. So if you ever have any questions on the periodic table, you can go back to it like that. Okay, number of moles. All right, here, just some conversions again for you. Okay, let's go to our next part. Again, we're talking with the periodic table again. I highly recommend you save this periodic table after you go through the tutorial. Okay. Again, we'll skip this. And it's just showing you some basic conversions of and how to find the mole mass of other elements, other compounds, stuff like this. Okay. So quantities and chemical reactions. Well, let's find out what happens here. So here's a chemical equation. Now, looking at a chemical equation, it does look very similar to equations in algebra. 2Ag2. That means that now the numbers here, let me note real quick at the bottom, are like how many molecules of that element. So how many represent. So like O2, there's 2 oxygen. Something like that. Connecting stoichiometry. The study of the relationship between the amounts of reactants and the products in a chemical reaction. So here again, chemical equation here. More chemical equations. We'll show you as time goes on, we'll show you how to balance chemical equations. And it is pretty interesting to see how they balance out with each other. So we have 4NH3 plus 5O2 yields, and that arrow means yield. 4NO plus 6O2. So this is what happens when those two chemicals or two compounds are combined with each other, and here's the product that they get afterwards. Does it balance out? How does it balance out with each other? So as you can see, the goal is to get the balance level. Okay, and then here, another chemical equation, figuring out the mole. We'll see if that. All right, moles. This shows you conversions with mole and grams, like what you would do, divide by, for the mole, divide by molar mass, or to get mole times molar mass. Same thing, this is if you know the substance or you don't know the substance. And here's like the conversions on what you would do for this one. We'll skip this one. All right, practice. And as you see, like I've been saying, you will use algebra and mathematical functions to solve this. So if you need to brush back on some of those algebra lessons, go for it because it'll come in handy. As you can see, when you're solving some of these equations, they are kind of like algebraic equations. And this is balancing, these are balancing equations and what you would do to balance an equation. Okay. Just shows you some balancing equations, some stuff with the moles. And okay, that's about it for this one. Gives us our diagram again, how to convert. Okay, let's go through. We'll skip that question and the summary. And there you have it. There's chemical equations, balancing, and all of that fun stuff. Hopefully that clears it up a little bit for you so you have a little bit better of an understanding. And enjoy.